If you've been following along this year, then you'll know that I've been doing a no buy for the year of 2024. And if you're new, then hi, my name is Grace. And on the channel, I mainly try to talk about realistic ways to live an intentional and happy life. And this past year has kind of come in the form of doing a no buy challenge. And if you're wondering what a no buy is, let me tell you, because a lot of people were confused and upset about it when I posted my first video on the topic. It is not the same thing as a no spend. From what definition and understanding that I operate under, a no buy is essentially when you have a list of a certain category or categories of things that you're not allowed to buy. Now that's either to use what you already have, curb a shopping addiction, overcome your scarcity mindset, or trying to stop acquiring things. This year, I attempted to do a no buy of things. Obviously, this just means non-essential things because I still bought like toothpaste and toilet paper when I needed to. But as a minimalist, I didn't actually have to buy any new makeup, lotion, deodorant. I just had to refill my shampoo bar a couple of times and some toothpaste. Like, it was really kind of shocking. Anyways, my no buy year kind of consisted of me not being able to buy clothes, books, shoes, makeup, tech gadgets, kitchen gadgets, anything along those lines. And I also disallowed myself from getting any more tattoos and piercings. Essentially what I'm getting at is if you want to do a no buy year, you have to plan ahead. So here's what I did. I made a list of things I was allowed to buy, had to think about before buying, and was not allowed to buy under any circumstances. I tended to refer to this whole thing with traffic light colors because it was a bit easier to wrap my head around and kind of get the idea across. I also tracked my spending each month and converted it into pie charts so that I could see the data across all the months of my challenge. And finally, I made sure that I knew why I wanted to do my challenge. If you've seen any of my no buy videos, there's a good chance that I'm referencing my why. And I feel like when you're doing a challenge like this, it's one of the most important things about it. Anyways, if you want to see my thought process on the whole challenge and setting it up and everything, you can watch this video right here. In a nutshell, my goals for 2024 were to get rid of my consumer credit card debt, not buy anything that was superfluous to my life, while also prioritizing saving money to buy a home and only spending money on experiences instead of things. So it sounds like there's a lot going on there, but if you have a good plan, then I promise that it's all possible. Because honestly, I did a pretty good job at achieving my goals this year. I'm about to make my last credit card payment this month. I saved 4 times as much as I did last year, although part of that has to do with the fact that I have a better paying job this year than I did last year. And I spent any of the extra money that I had on travel to see my friends and family, spending money on dance classes, and other experiences that generally just enriched my life. Of course, there were some ups and downs when it came to the spending each month. Sometimes I had months that I spent a little bit too much in the yellow light category. It is what it is, and there were definitely a couple, maybe 1 or 2 items that I spent on my red light list. I don't regret them, it just happens that they were on my red light list. I wasn't necessarily planning on getting them this year, and it just happened. But that doesn't mean that the entire year is a failure. Even if you've been going through your challenge and you've done a couple of red light items, I would say if your general quality of life has improved and your spending has gone down, then the year was a success. One thing that definitely did take a bit of a hit was my minimalism, and that has gone on the back burner a bit this year because as I was going through the year not buying anything, I was actually acquiring a lot of things for free or hand-me-downs from my friends and family and community members in my Buy Nothing group. And I ended up acquiring a lot more things than I thought I would. So I'm excited to spend a little bit of next year kind of paring back down again and just keeping the things that are a bit more essential instead of just too many things going on, you know? As I mentioned, so far this year I've been able to crush down my debt, save a bunch of money, and generally just got a really good idea of what kind of things I want and need to spend my money on. I feel like this year has also really encouraged me to rewire my brain a bit and, you know, kind of crush those impulses to shop, learn how to repair things that I already own, and find creative ways to solve problems that are popping up in my life. Whether that's trying to find things for free, asking friends for hand-me-downs, or simply going without. And it generally just makes all of these experiences a lot more meaningful because of how purposeful all of my spending has been this year. For example, if you get coffee every other day, it starts to become a mundane task, and it is a surefire way to spend like $1,000 a year. Whereas if you go into a cafe every so often and make it more of a special thing, you're spending a lot less money, the experience is more special, and I promise you can learn how to make your coffee just as good at home. All in all, my no-buy year has really taught me that when you slow down to appreciate what you have and maybe wait for a moment before you buy something you really want or maybe even need, then sometimes a solution can come up without you having to spend any money at all. I would say that having community has definitely been really, really important to my no-buy year, and having a good support system, being a member of my local Buy Nothing group, letting my family know about the challenge that I'm doing this year and their willingness to give me hand-me-downs of things that they don't want anymore has been really, really helpful in my success this year, and I'm very grateful for all of those things helping me out. I'm really excited because next year is going to be a great opportunity to consume less and actually try to enjoy life and the little things a little bit more. I feel like this year I definitely got a bit overwhelmed by some of the tracking aspects of this whole challenge and the public way I was displaying it, although I obviously did it to myself, and it was definitely a really good way to stay accountable and have community. It was definitely also a bit overwhelming as someone that is really bad at keeping a budget and tracking her spending, but I'm really, really glad that I did it, and I learned so much. So next year in my life and on the channel, I would love to try to stick with this frugal and kind of anti-consumerist lifestyle, share tips along the way, share what I'm doing, finding fun ways to stay busy and stay fulfilled for less money, throwing in little de-influencing here and there. And it will likely look a bit more like a low buy year, and I will talk all about that in another video closer to the end of the year. But essentially, I'm just gonna take it a day at a time. There were a handful of exceptions that I allowed myself this year that I actually didn't even end up cashing in on, so I am feeling really confident that even if I set myself up for allowing myself to buy a couple of extra things next year or having a bit more flexibility in each category, that I won't go overboard, because this year has really reset my brain, I think, in terms of buying things. And also, it feels really empowering to not need to buy new things to feel fulfilled and happy. And I think that's probably the best thing that I got out of this year. In 2025, I would really like to use the extra time and energy and mental space to pick up on a few of my slow hobbies that have maybe fallen by the wayside. I want to do a bunch more reading. You guys can stay up to date with that on my booktube channel that I'm really excited is going to be a bit more in full swing in 2025, and kind of just do a bit more crocheting, maybe start learning a language. I don't know, just like picking up the hobbies that I really miss doing. Anyways, I have a few more weeks of the no-buy year, a few more videos to share, and I'm just really excited to see what the future holds. Because although the no-buy year is almost over, it's really just a whole new lifestyle that's just beginning. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's true. Anyways, thank you all so much for your support this year. Your encouragement and community really has pulled me through. And if I wasn't doing it for myself, I was definitely doing it for you guys as well. And I'm just really grateful to be here. If you're new, I would really appreciate if you subscribed to follow along on the journey next year for a bunch of cool, fun things to follow. I'm gonna try to get out into New York City a bit more, so hopefully you guys won't just see me being a hermit in the apartment all the time, and I'll actually go out and do things and try to make it really cute and frugal and free. And yeah, I'm just really excited for all to come and try to make the best out of everything going on. Until the next one, I'm sending you all my love because we're all just trying our best out here. All right, so see you later.